Good morning, everyone. My name's Dan Mann, and this is the twice baked baked potato. There's a lot to this board. Pretty intricate design, but I'm going to share three things with you today. First, of course, the obvious question is why then the twice baked compared to the baked potato, and what are the differences? The most obvious and the most, in your face change is this tail. The baked potato has this nice little diamond tail. This is a chopped off, totally not hard squash because it's nice and elliptical here, but this is totally flat here, and that gives you a nice little release and break through churns. It's really allowed for a nice sensation in the in going through churns right at the end of a churn. It's nice little release, a little bit of like quicker release than normal, little flickierness. I also changed another design feature. I split a V panel right off the tip of the tail, and that, because of the extra chirpiness or the kind of releasiness, I don't know if that's even a word, of the tail like that, I wanted to create a little more hold, a little more stability and predictability with the little tiny bit of V panel right there without losing that lifty, real fast flying feeling of a groveler, of a good groveler. So the other thing you notice with the twice baked compared to the baked potato is that it's just a little more svelte. It's a little less chunky and clunky, especially out the tail. Has this nice tapered, nice thinned out tail. Out on the rail, I brought that down. It's just as we've all gotten better at surfing and understanding how we want to ride our grovelers, this is just addressing that. It's a little more performance oriented without losing the unbelievable paddling and unbelievable skatey ability through flat dead sections. When you look up here at the nose, it's more foiled out. There's a tiny bit more rocker. It's just a little more performance baked in, so to speak. To wrap that up, if you like the speed and the trajectory through flat sections, especially of a baked potato, you're going to like this a lot too, because those are all still in here. But what I've done, I hope, is I've addressed the ability to be more maneuverable, a little more control through your churns. And so the second thing is volume and sizing. Sizing is a big question, and I get a billion questions about it. Behind me here is a 5.3, a 5.5, and a 5.9. This is my personal 5.5. This is what I ride most of the time, even though I can get away literage wise with even the 5.1, but most of the time I ride the 5.5 and sometimes the 5.3. If you're not sure, not willing to try different ones, or don't have access to trying different ones, just stay in the 2 liters more than your regular shortboard. But you also have to consider, for me, the reason I don't go to the 5.3 every time, even though that's more appropriate for my volume, is I want a little more length for me personally. I like a little more length in the rail line, and I like a little more trajectory in swing underneath my feet. I felt like I was standing on either end of it on the 5.3. I just felt, I'm a taller, skinnier guy, and so I felt kind of apey on the shorter ones, even though they're a lot of fun. I've ridden the 5.1 too, and those are super fun too. So you're able to ride a really big range. You just have to kind of ask yourself, what are you looking for? If you want to stay on the performance side, then you go ahead and keep it like a disc right underneath your feet for radical performance. If you are wanting to have it be a cruiser glider thing, like I was saying, like I have a 5.11, but just to focus on 2 liters more than your regular board and match that literage with the length that feels right to your body shape, I guess. If you're a tall, skinny person, you might want to go even a little longer and focus on not the literage as much as the length, because the literage, they're so maneuverable. Like if you're off on your literage, it doesn't matter as much, because there's design features with the planing If you're a little under, the planing takes over, and if you're a little over, the maneuverability with the fin location, the rocker the way it is, you're still going to be churning a really high volume board for your weight and your body size. You're still going to be maneuvering it way more than a normal board. That's why these things have been so successful, I think. Now the third thing here is something I'm going to teach you that was taught to me by my old buddy Stu about ping. And so here's the ping. This is what we're looking for. I grab it by the fin and then hit it right about where you duck dive on your right hand. So the ping is that indication of where the board's at in terms of its vibrancy. Like when I'm listening to the ping of the board, I can intuit how resonant and how lively the board's going to feel based on that sound, based on the resonance of that sound. So when I hear that sound and hear the level of the ping or non-ping, I can intuit how much flex and how much bends there's going to be underneath the feet. So that brings us to the question of why is the twice baked released in Timbertek instead of helium or LFT? I've surfed all three and I've pinged all three, and we keep coming back to the Timbertek for the same reason that the baked potatoes released in Timbertek. With this particular shape, with the dimensions the way they are, the outline, the way everything goes, the grovel and the sprightliness comes a lot from the shape. The Timbertek gives it the hold and the drive and the smooth and the connecting of the churns, and gives it that kind of stability and predictability underneath your feet. You know, everyone's talking about flex and this and that all plays a significant role in the performance of the board and the way those materials go together with how you want the board to feel underneath your feet. But one thing that we're not really talking about too much and to date is the actual sensation of under the foot feeling. So independent from the flex is another feeling where guys are feeling a squish or a real rigid, firm sensation underneath their feet. To me, I like the real quick, hard, sensitive response. I like to be barefoot a lot too, so maybe it's connected with that. But I think that the quicker response of what's happening to you, the sensory of all of that coming back into you with this hard surface of the wood, is what suits what we're looking for with the performance of the board the most. Timbertek lends itself to the overall sensation of what the board's trying to achieve, which is, you know, a wide range of surf that it's good for, and a long-lasting board in your quiver that you hopefully don't ever want to get rid of, or if you do, you give it away to your grandchildren. So technically what's going on here with the Timbertek on the twice baked here is an EPS core, Paulownia wood skin, and has the bioresin with a little bit of fiberglass sandwiched in on the sandwich construction and laid up over the top of it to give it a nice, just has that nice look. And what you get with all these combinations of materials is a lot of drive, a lot of trim, and a lot of resonance, and a lot of great response that's long lasting too. You leave it in the sun or whatever and it doesn't get all dingy. You leave it in the back of your car, it won't get all dingy. It just ages really nice. Also, the reason it's in Timbertek and not helium is because how can you argue against how many people have had the regular baked potato? There's just thousands of them out there that people have loved, and why would you go against the grain on that one? Go against the grain, get it? All right, well, I hope that was very helpful. The twice bake is in surf shops now. It's on the Firewire website. I'll be putting up pictures on my Instagram. It's going to be a good time. Get out of quarantine, get in the water, hopefully have some surf on the twice baker.